This is the step 2 of the login module with the OTP of this billing inventory and shopping with barcodes project. This is the step 2 in which we will create a login module with OTP, and let me show you what we are going to do. In this case, we will present to the user a login required with the phone that he has to enter, and when he enters his OTP and clicks on this login button, then a database record will be created. If the record doesn't exist, a new customer will automatically get his login ID, his username as his phone number, and a login cookie will be created. And we have hard coded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as the phone number of the admin. So if a user logs in with this phone number, then he will be taken to the admin area, otherwise he will be taken to the user area. We have hard coded this just for the sake of convenience, but in a real project you can use some sort of environment setting or whatever is possible for you to just specify the phone number of the administrator or of the administrators. And you can learn with me as you walk, but it will be helpful if you know about the cookie authentication that I have already covered in the ASP.NET Core project, and the source code completed so far is attached as a download so that you can examine it and learn from it. And let's now directly come to the project that we are going to take today. So we have the solution explorer, and most of it was covered in the last tutorial. We added the areas, we added the pages folder, we added the layout file, we completed program.cs also to a large extent. And now we are going to first of all add our models, because database connectivity will be required, because we have to add a user to our database. Since we will need database connectivity, I have added our models folder side by side so that it helps us in the remainder of the project. Now nobody can foresee what are the requirements of your project, what are the exact database requirements for your project. No one can foresee. This is not possible. It took me some time to develop this project, but whatever I have developed I am showing to you, but in a real project it will usually take a lot of time to decide on the type of models required, and therefore migrations will be done from time to time. But since I have a ready-made project, I'll just show you the finalized model classes, and let's have a look at that. And first of all, as expected, we have a model class for customer. This model class contains the phone ID and the list of invoices of that customer, which is expected. A customer has a phone ID and he has a number of invoices associated with him, the purchases he has made in the past, and the phone ID password is not required because OTP based login is what we have planned in this project. And after this we have this product. A product is an item in inventory. This is an item in inventory, so it has a barcode ID, which is the primary key, a description, a name of the product, and then we have the current price associated with the product, the quantity that we have in our inventory, the tax associated with the product. We have tax is usually picked from another table that contains a mapping between item type and tax rates. We'll keep things simple. So we have fixed the tax at 5.0, and this is the update date because products keep on arriving in inventory with time. So the last update is recorded here for sorting purposes and for any other logging information which might be required by your requirements. So this will be the product table, and after this let me also that I have added a models folder to the user, because a customer has an invoice and each invoice, so this is an invoice and each invoice has a number of entries for the products purchased. So each entry is an invoice item. Invoice item is actually derived from the product table, but since prices etc. keep on varying with time, so we will store some redundant information in the invoice item also, but let's keep the thing simple right now. This is the invoice table. As usual, the invoice table has a unique ID, the date of invoice, amount exclusive of taxes, the tax paid, the customer with whom it is associated, and this is the foreign key from the customer table, and each invoice has a number of invoice items. So this is a one-to-many relationship between the invoice items, and in the invoice item we have a running ID, the description of the item, the quantity purchased, and then price per unit on that date, because discounts